For beginners and even some seasoned guitarists, it's important to make sure you've got your basic chords locked down. This is important because thousands of songs rely on knowing what these basic chords are. The chords we're going to be looking at today, D, G, and A, in particular create one of the most common chord progressions out there. You can even take the D chord, the G chord, and the A chord from this video and make your own tunes out of those chords. If you're just starting out with guitar, it's important to realize that consistent practice is the best way to reach your goals and advance along your journey. It helps you save time in the long term, and it helps you retain what you learn, so that way you don't have to take steps backward along your guitar journey. If you want to make sure that you have everything in place that you need to stay consistent, I want to give you my free motivational guide. Just click the link below or head on over to zachsharguitar.com and download it there. Okay, so for this chord progression, we are going to be working in the key of D, okay? So since we'll be working in the key of D, we will call the first chord the D chord. We're going to call that the 1 chord. So I'm going to show you how to play that chord. So it's 4 strings, and we're going to start on the D string, okay, which is the 4th string from the bottom of the neck, okay? So we're just going to leave that open. You don't need to put your fingers on that string at all. So from there, we are going to play an A note, and this is the 5th of that chord. So to play that, you'll put your first finger, your index finger, on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is right below the first string we just played, and it sounds like this. So far we have. Okay. And from there, you're going to take your ring finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is just below the previous string we just played. And that will be another D note, okay? So we achieved an octave. And from there, we're going to continue our way down to the last note in the chord, which is an F sharp. This is the 3rd. So all together, here's what that chord sounds like. So you want to strum down, starting with that D string. Again, 4th string from the bottom. And when I say bottom, I mean from here where the thinner strings are. And it should sound like this. Okay, so jumping to the G chord, this is the 4 chord. So we have D, E, F, G. I'll show you how to play it. So we're going to start with the first note, which is a G. Okay, and to play that, that will be your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the lowest E string. And from there, we're going to play the 3rd, so that will be a B, G, A, B. And that will be on the 2nd fret of the A string. And that will sound like this. So far we have. And so the next 2 strings below that, we don't need to put any fingers from our left hand on those strings. So that will be an open D note and an open G note. So we have a 1, the G note, a 3rd, which is a B note. That D is the 5th. And then we have a 1 again with that G note. So we're going to play another D note, which will be on the B string. So you'll put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is the 2nd string from the bottom. And then lastly, you'll put your pinky on the G note, which is the 3rd fret of the high E string. So all together, you should get this. So I want to give you guys a little trick, okay, for these first 2 chords that I showed you. So a lot of people, when they're starting out, they have a hard time changing from one chord to another. I have a video which goes into much better detail about that, so I encourage you to check out that video on chord transitions. But basically, what you can do, so as you remember, on the D chord, we kept our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay? And what we can do is keep that finger right where it is as we shift to the G chord. All right, so the 3rd and final chord in this video will be an A chord, the 5 chord. So the musical alphabet goes A through G. So, and again, the D would be the 1. So we'll go D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so that makes it the 5 chord, and I'll show you how to play that. So you will play an open A string, which is 2nd from the top this way. From there, you'll put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string just below that, and that will be an E note, which is the 5th of that chord. From there, you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string just below that previous note, and that will be another A note. So we reached another octave there. So far we have the A, the E, and another A. So next you're going to take your ring finger and you're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the B string just below that previous note. And that will give us the C sharp, which is the 3rd of that chord. And then just below that, we'll have an E note, again, the 5th of that chord. And that will be on the 1st and thinnest string on your guitar. So here's what that sounds like all together. So the 3 chords in this video create one of the most common chord progressions you might see. If you're using the Roman numeral system, you might see the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord displayed as a chord progression. If you want to learn more about this and dip your toe into some basic music theory, I encourage you to check out the video I created on the Roman numeral system. So now you have 3 critical chords in your arsenal. You will see these 3 chords in particular as you advance along in your guitar journey. With just a little variation in the rhythm you use to play these 3 chords, you'll be able to be really creative with this and use the D, G, and A chords to make up your own tunes. As I talked about in the beginning of this video, consistency is critical to optimal learning and skill development. To make sure you have exactly what you need to stay consistent and motivated with your instrument, go ahead and download that free motivational guide. It's driven by science, and you can find the link for that in the description below, and you can also download it for free at zachcharguitar.com. Let me know how this goes for you, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching Zach Char Guitar. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.